Let's look at working with loops in Nerve. I'm going to load a loop from Ableton Live's browser. Simply dragging it onto the pad. You can see that because this is an RX2 file, Nerve switched the pad automatically from one shot to loop. Notice that these slice markers have appeared. You are able to alter these slice locations if desired. Simply click on the slice you wish to change, and click where you want the slice to be. Also notice the step sequencer now contains the score, which allows Nerve to play back the slices, in order to have the same feel as the original loop. When creating a groove, as I showed in the previous tutorial, if a loop pad is selected, Nerve will calculate the RMS level for each slice, and use this as a basis for modifying the dynamics of the groove. The late graph is used for the timing. As you can see here, it automatically extracted this information from the RX2 file. Let's get a demonstration of that. I'm going to simply load another sound that's a one-shot onto another pad, so that we have something to hear in terms of matching groove. Let's first just listen to the loop. And let's add in the 16th note part. Notice that the 16th note part right now sounds very mechanical. So what we're going to do is go to the swing tab here and say create. In other words, we're going to take the groove, as I showed in the last tutorial, from this loop. Now I'm going to turn the swing to maximum so we hear 100% of this feel. And now let's listen to the 16th note part. First without the swing. And now with. Now the two parts match perfectly. Let's take a look at loading from within Nerve. Clicking the Load button allows you to navigate your hard disk for a sound file. Here are the sound file folders that come with Nerve. Once a sound is loaded, you can use the arrow buttons to load the next or previous sounds in the folder. The wave loading is background threaded, which means there should be no interruption to the audio stream. You can option click to load the next or previous sound for all pads in their respective folders. For instance, let me load a drum kit. And let me load a kit pattern so we have something to hear. I'm going to now option click, and all 16 pads are going to switch to the next sound in their respective folders. You can option command click to load a sound at random from each folder for all pads. This is nice to create new combinations of sounds effortlessly. Now let's go over the repeater bar. The repeater bar is good for injecting fills and variations into your rhythm. It operates by repositioning the sequencer location on the pad or pads that you choose. You can control it with either the mouse or with MIDI notes. Let's load a preset to demonstrate. The effects LED is a per pad setting, allowing you to choose which pad or pads will repeat when the repeater is engaged. You can see, for instance, it's on this loop. It's on several of the loops and one-shots. So let's hit play. And notice as I click the position, it will repeat the time that I've selected until another pad is enabled. It is on several of these loops. So notice as I click this position, it will hold the selected time value until another repeat time is selected or until the mouse is let go. notice that there's some swing feel to it as well, as it's using the swing that's in the swing menu here. This is something sort of unique to this repeating function compared to traditional beat repeating type effects. Furthermore, it will send new MIDI notes out on every repeat. That makes the repeater very useful for creating MIDI parts for other soft samplers or MIDI gear as well. The dot and trip allow you to modify the time value further, and these are also triggerable on adjacent MIDI notes. Lastly, the dry send knob allows you to have the repeated audio get sent to the last output pair of nerve. This is useful if you want additional external effects to engage when repeating is enabled.